Good morning. Welcome to BlackUSA.News morning show. My name's Donnie Glover, and we have with us today, let me just back up. A lot of people say that Mervo runs the city. I've never thought that to be the case. Yesterday, we had the city council president, and I understand that he has some Baltimore Polytechnic roots. But today, we have the master of construction, Mr. Marty Glaze, and he's definitely a Polycat. I saw him there. Good morning, Mr. Glaze.
Good morning. How are you, Donnie?
I'm doing good. So tell us about yourself. How is the world of commercial group?
The commercial group is very busy. So, as you know, I'm the president of commercial construction, which is one of the companies inside of the commercial group. So Kevin Johnson, our CEO, owns and controls Commercial Interiors, which is one of the largest interior firms in this market. We have commercial development, commercial construction, and our newly formed commercial utilities, which I'm sure a lot of people have seen as we tear up Greenmount Avenue and a number of other streets, putting in electrical infrastructure throughout the city.
Well, it's so interesting you should mention that. First of all, congratulations on the utilities and the underground utilities, because my understanding is that you are the largest Black underground utilities company in Baltimore.
I don't know about that. Certainly, we are in the market. We continue to grow and are looking to grow that business to be the largest. I don't know if we are yet. I know that there are a couple of Black contractors that have been in the utility business for a while.
Ari
I'm not
Harrington.
sure how big they are. That's right,
Yeah.
Ari Harrington. If I had to guess, I would say Ari Harrington is probably the biggest.
Okay.
If I had to guess.
Okay. Well, we see your trucks and the underground utilities. That color is red, right?
That's correct.
So when we see commercial in the red with the red logo, that's the utilities company. But let's go to the construction, the yellow logo. One project that's underway is on one about the YMCA, 33rd Street.
Yes, that would be our Village Center project, and we are building that. Actually, the developer is a team. It's led by commercial development, but our partner in that one is Gedco. It's senior housing, and it's got, I think, 30,000 square feet of retail on the first level. So we've got some really cool tenants moving in. The building is coming to a conclusion. So we're finishing that one up right now, and as you know, it's a really gorgeous addition to that streetscape over there on 33rd.
Now, right around the corner from where I grew up on North Avenue, down the street from where you grew up, you have a project right next door to Coppin State, Walbrook Lumber Mill, right?
Yeah, that one was very near and dear, as you know, to me, because of where I grew up. I grew up in Walbrook Junction. So to have the ability to go back into your neighborhood and make that type of a impact is something that I'll remember forever. It was an extremely heartfelt project for us, and I just think it's a gorgeous addition to North Avenue as they continue to build North Avenue. And you and I, as we grew up, North Avenue was a mess. It was always a mess. The buildings were run down, the stores were run down, and to see it now get revitalized is something that brings tears to my eyes. It's really, really good to see that happening.
Now, I want to take you back to around 1979 or so. I know I was what they called a weenie at Poly in my brief but colorful career there. And did you always know you wanted to be an engineer?
To be honest, I did. From a very young age, I always enjoyed making things, putting things together. I had a real love for math. I'm good at it. And one thing I'll say is, when I was growing up and I said I wanted to be an engineer, and I kind of pursued that career, I thought engineers were the ones that made the money. It was only until I was in college that I figured out the people that play with the money make all the money. So I really should have gone into finance and played with the money, because they're the ones that really make the money. But I enjoy what I do. I've been doing construction my entire life. I'm now moving into my 35th year of doing it. Um, so it's something that I enjoy.
I also remember when Barney Wilson was the first black principal at Poly, and you made it your business to build a rapport with Poly, one that I had not seen, that I personally had not seen, done by other black alumni. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. So again, as you said, Barney was the first black principal at Poly, and I thought it was very important to support him as an African American alumnus. Um, it started out by getting other black alumnus involved. I bought him into the school, and we had a meeting, and there was about 20 to 25 black alumnus that attended the meeting. And the meeting was about how we needed to make sure that Barney was successful. In order to make him successful, it required us to support him, and support him not only in an emotional way, but in a financial way. The school needs, it still needs a lot. It needed a lot. Barney had some thoughts about what he wanted to do. Uh, from his time at Carnegie Mellon, he had a close relationship with robotics. Thought the robotics would be a good fit for Poly. I agreed. We ended up um, building a robotics lab, and it was a combination. His thought was right side, left side of the brain. So he wanted to combine art with robotics, which was, I thought, genius. So we built an art lab and a robotics lab all in one. Um, and then we went on to build a new fitness center. You know, growing up and going through Poly, we did not have facilities, adequate facilities for our teams to train. So I got a lot of our contractors together, and we went in and built out a brand new fitness center. So those were the two major projects that we did while Barney was principal.
Have had black people, black alumni, ever done something to that magnitude before?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of either. It was unprecedented. Okay,
And
so uh, here's another question, and I've always wanted to ask you this. Who would you have for mechanical drawing? Did you have Vasu?
look, I can't even remember my college professors, much less high school.
Well, Vasu was the one that designed the Michelob bottle, they told us.
Oh yeah.
But all I want to know is, when you were taking mechanical drawing, did you have a knack for it? Because I thought I knew something about drawing. I couldn't even get a damn arrow straight. But there were other
Yeah,
kids who probably, they were just naturals.
yeah. I would say my globe valve and anvil were very good. You
So
remember you remember that? You had to draw the globe valve.
no, I didn't. I don't remember the globe valve. I do remember someone telling us how to spell carburetor, because there was a teacher there who, they dismissed you if you couldn't spell carburetor, whatever that was, one of those mechanical things. But what I wanted to get to is, today, 2021, what do you think of Poly today? We'll get to the sports, but I mean academically. Are you still involved with the school?
I'm not as much involved. Again, my kids are all grown, and I'm a grandfather now, so my
A
priorities are a little
granddad.
different. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm not
Congratulations.
as involved. Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
But from what I understand, the school is still producing a good product. Um, Unfortunately, the school is not very much different than when we were there, other than the couple of things that commercial did for the school, which is a little sad to me because for a school to produce the type of kid that is producing and not have a built environment that's commensurate with that excellence, to me is a problem for Baltimore. I mean, Poly is a gem for this city, and I think that it should have a building that mirrors that excellence.
I don't know. You know, my thought is from the political standpoint, when you have black people in charge of all of these departments, it should be a no-brainer. But I guess if they didn't go to Poly, then that's one thing. Do we have any Poly people in politics? Well, we got Nick.
That's right, Nick.
Or maybe
Yeah,
we
Nick.
need to have a talk with him. Poly students, I mean, you are one of many alumni. There are a lot of people that went to Poly that are now doing marvelous things beyond their high school days. But I got to tell you, academically, the School for the Arts has been kicking Poly's butt and City's butt too. Know what kind of special formula they have over there, what they're feeding those kids. But when I saw some of the math scores, I couldn't believe that they could beat Poly. I
Yeah,
refuse.
I mean,
I'm in denial. See, I
School
had to
for the
go to
Arts is
summer school over
certainly
there.
a good school. What's that?
I had to go to summer school, algebra 2, trig, and physics. I'll never forget that summer because it was the summer I could not work a summer job. I had to go to summer school. Then I get to summer school, and the way they broke it down, I equals E over R, it was just so simple. And I felt like somebody was trying to fake me out, like, you're not smart enough to do this. When it's really simple.
I'm glad that worked out for you.
You're quite the politician. Okay, so what do you see down the road? You want to build commercial? You want to? What's the next big project? What do you want to do next?
Well, we've got a number of sizable projects going on. One, a very important one is right there at Park Heights and Cold Spring Lane, and we're building 84 apartment buildings right there now. It's coming out of the ground. It's a project that we're doing for Penrose Development out of Philadelphia. A great operation, and a
You
very
said
important project.
84 buildings?
84 apartments.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's an apartment building, and it's important because as you know, probably the only area that was uh, that was given less than Walbrook was Park Heights. For many years, Park Heights has been promised revitalization, and it never happened. So what we're building is the first of many buildings that will happen in Park Heights over the next few years. So I'm really privileged for us to be the first out of the gate to get a brand new apartment building built there. Also see that the Stadium Authority has put out an RFP for the Pimlico racetrack. So there's going to be a couple $100 million spent to refurbish racetrack, which invariably will spark other development around the racetrack. So a lot's about to happen in Park Heights.
Do you have dibs on Pimlico?
I don't. Right now we're pretty busy with the book of business that we have, and I was asked to look at Park Heights, and I haven't ruled it out because certainly it would be exciting to be part of revitalizing that facility. Um, so I won't say that I'm not. I will say that I'm not right now.
Well, it must be quite, it must feel great to be needed and wanted, you know, your business. It must be a great feeling.
It really is. You know, again, I get a lot of phone calls from people that, that say, hey, so and so told me to call you because I need to build X, Y, or Z. And in a lot of cases, uh, I'm I'm not able to help when it's building projects that don't match what we do. But in a lot of cases, I'm able to help them and guide them to the right person to talk to get their projects done. So, I do take that very seriously that people do guide folks to call me. So I do field those calls and try to help as best I can.
Have Black people ever had this opportunity in Baltimore before?
Not that I know of. I really don't.
So,
Um,
so
and
commercial
I
is a
got,
pioneer.
yeah, and what I'll say is, our CEO Kevin Johnson, he was the first to have a drywall company that has hit the tops of the mark. I mean, hands down, black, white, whatever race, it doesn't matter. Commercial Interiors is the best drywall firm in this market. So he is used to taking things and getting them to that level, and it's really impressive.
Now, this is a guy that used to sell shoes, women's shoes.
Well, actually, when he started out, I think he had a lingerie business in Mondawmin Mall, and
Lingerie.
yeah, yeah,
I've
and
never been able to see the what's congruent in that.
well, I mean, here's an African American guy that has never worked for anybody. He's been an entrepreneur his whole life and has built, a powerful brand of companies, you know, and understands business to the point where, if you look at the presidents of the different companies, you'll see they all look like they all like me, and I think in each of our rights, we're all really top-notch executives.
So, any advice to students going to poly now, or students interested in going into engineering, math? Engineering, math, physics, those are not the sexiest subjects. At the same time, those are the foundation, particularly algebra, the foundation of all math and science.
I guess what some of my friends call me is linear. I think math, engineering, the sciences require a disciplined thought process, and it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 step approach to solving problems, and really that's what it is. What we do every day is solve problems. That's what I tell people our business is to acknowledge a problem and figure out how to solve it. And that's the fun part of what we do.
So let me ask you, Mr. Polytechnic Engineer, can you fix Baltimore City Public Schools?
Wow. That's a deep question. Um,
I would think the answer is yes.
the schools are broken. Our city is broken. Um, and it's
Isn't
a bigger.
isn't insanity doing the same thing and expecting a different result? That doesn't fit what you just told me. 1, 2, 3, 4, logical, scientific, proven method.
No, you're right. You're right. I think the school situation is deeper than the school itself. Um,
Somebody's getting paid over there. On North Avenue, we also learn a little bit about game. We also learn that you don't throw good money after bad money. I got that from Judge Judy. But I heard
no,
it on
you're
the
right.
streets of Baltimore first.
You're right. I mean, the answer to problems is not always dump more money into it. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly that I don't believe that that's the answer. I believe that there's enough money that is being dumped into the Baltimore school system. Um,
When we went to school, do you remember anybody saying anything about money?
no, never.
In fact, the onus was on you, the student, to now I live down the bottom. You were up the hill a bit, but we had the same forces. You could either go home and do your homework, and that was like 2-3 hours away from your boys, or you could go to school the next day after hanging out with your friends unprepared. And at Poly, there was a checkup from the neck up every day. You had to do your
Well,
work.
I mean, certainly we had the benefit of being able to attend Poly. Not not every kid in Baltimore has that same benefit. So I don't think the issues that Baltimore City Schools is having are at Poly. They're not at Poly right now. So Poly is not the issue. It's other schools that are the issue. Um, and again, I want to say again that I believe that it is not 100% Baltimore City Schools problem. It's the city. It's it's people. I mean, here I'm listening to a report on the news about a kid who had a point whatever grade point average, and the kid,
0.13.
well, the kid missed 380 something days. You only go to school 180 days a year,
He missed more days than there were
right? So I'm like, well, so how's that Baltimore City Schools problem?
because they get money for them. Approximately 15,000 a year per student. Now, me myself, I remember, and I know we sound old maybe to some people, but I remember Poly had Saturday school. That is something, Mr. Glaze, I have not heard since then. As poorly as these schools are performing, I think there should be a mandatory Saturday school, or at least a Saturday school open for anybody that wants to go. You probably never had to go to Saturday school, but it was over
No,
there
I
at
did.
school headquarters.
Okay.
It was a bunch of us over there, but more than anything, those were people that were serious. Maybe we didn't get it through the regular Monday through Friday. Maybe some of us needed some special attention, but it was there if you wanted it.
Right.
Here's something else that came to me yesterday, and I know you thought we were talking just about engineering. I'm thinking about running for governor. My first priority would be Prince George's County and Baltimore City school systems. All of our life, Baltimore, Prince George is at the bottom, 23 and 24 in the state. I think anybody, so let me walk back me running for governor, but of these really, really smart guys and gals running for governor or who have pushed their name out there, I would require a task force to look at both Baltimore and Prince George's. Since we are always at the bottom, I think there should be a special task force to address these two school systems, and maybe even something jointly connected that addresses these issues, because they're both majority black and they're both at the bottom. That seems to be a no-brainer problem to me.
So let me ask you a question. I mean, what do you think the problem is?
Corruption, money, people getting paid, criminal activity. That's on the administrative side. On the student, on the family, everything from drug addiction, sexual abuse, multi-generational underdevelopment, crime, and all of the other ills that Black America faces. But since they are repeatedly at the bottom, I think there should be a task force to get them from the bottom. And nobody ever says that. Ben Jealous, his name is at the top of the list for running for governor. Does he know about these issues? And let me tell you something else, Mr. Glaze. There's a whole new generation of young leaders, and they're coming up with some common sense solutions that should have been implemented. I mean, look at the procurement system for Baltimore City. In 2021, someone is finally talking about paying people net 30.
That would be good.
Long overdue, don't you think?
I think so. Yeah, to come up with a system where you can process invoices a little quicker would be something that would be very helpful.
Save businesses from going out of business. Okay, so let's get to the meat and potatoes of it all. What's going on with poly football?
Oh. Woo! So the reason our football team has declined in its success, I believe, is due to the drop in the numbers of people that are attending poly. Back when we went to poly, I think it was 2,500 students. You know, poly dropped to, I want to say, like 1,000 students. It's since crept up to maybe, I've lost track, but last I checked, I thought it was 1,500 students, 1,600 students. And out of those students, the boys to girls kind of changed. Back when we went to school, it was more boys than there were girls. Now poly is made up of more girls than boys, so it's less boys to pick from, and I think that is part of the reason. And then you've got the Gilmans and the Calvert Halls of the world that are pretty attractive for an inner city young man who is talented in football to accept a scholarship to go to one of those schools and play.
Mr. Glaze, I'll never forget the look on your face. This was maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and Poly had lost the game that it wasn't supposed to lose. And matter of fact, my son was playing. I'll never forget the look on your face after that loss. And it's kind of how I feel when I look on North Avenue and I see white people panhandling at North and Fulton. It's changed, and it's never going to be like it was. I saw you dealing with acceptance, first denial, but then acceptance. And this is the face of acceptance. But you were mad. You were fuming. You were like, hit him.
Yeah, no, it has been hard to watch, a school and a sport that I love, to see it at the state it is right now. And of course, to get beat by City every year is really painful.
I know.
Because back when I played, we used to crush City.
Now, after leaving Poly and went to Dunbar for 2 years, now Poly is spanking Dunbar in basketball. Have you ever thought that would happen?
I know. That's crazy, isn't it?
The demographics of Dunbar have changed,
Right.
and the kind of student has changed. So we're accepting all of these changes. Where do you see Baltimore down the road? Where would you like to see? What's your vision for Baltimore down the road?
Wow. I mean, we've got to get this murder situation under control in Baltimore. First off, I think Baltimore is a beautiful city, and it has the potential um, to really be a special place. But in order to do that, we got to get the crime under control. I think we've got to uh, be more equitable. You know, the divide is way too wide from those that the haves and the have-nots. So I think I always tell people we all got to get along because I can either meet you in the alley or meet you in the boardroom. And I'd rather meet you in the boardroom than meet you in the alley. So I just think we've got to extend an olive leaf and figure out how to get our folks employed, um, and do a whole paradigm shift for how things are right now. I don't think that we can continue the way we're going. Um, and we'll see what the new leadership can do.
Are you going to write a book?
No, I'm not a book writer.
Well, I mean, the whole commercial story is certainly one for the movies. If we don't write I mean, we've had other greats before you, in construction and business here in Baltimore, but maybe it's time for the commercial story to be told, made into a film, so that our young people can see they can go to Baltimore City Public Schools, because I hate when public schools get a bad rap, particularly from our county cousins. But Baltimore City Public Schools have produced some very successful people and those who give back. Tell us about what you've done in the past down Gilmore Homes.
So a few years back, I guess
Freddie Gray.
the urban the urban league asked me to participate in their week of service. We ended up doing I want to say 6 or 7 major projects over the course of a week. One of which was down at Gilmore Homes. We took an old sort of dilapidated green space that they had and completely did a makeover, putting in new landscaping, new trees. We put in sort of commercial grills. We put in new picnic tables, a gazebo, and benches for the folks at Gilmore Homes to enjoy. So it's a beautiful green space, inside of a very concrete community.
Concrete
So
jungle.
the hope was that they would, right. The hope was that it would soften up the space a little bit and provide something that the folks at Gilmore Homes could be proud of and use.
And you also did something on Pennsylvania Avenue around Fremont, St. Peter Claver Church. There's a triangle in the little park. You remember that project? This is back around
Well,
Freddie Gray too.
I think we were giving out
Oh,
food or something.
oh, okay. But why is giving back important to
But
you?
the, but we but we well actually giving back is important to the commercial group. And there's a saying, to much that is given, as much is required. And I think we live that. I think we all realize that we're very um, blessed to be in the position that we're in, um, and we feel like there's certainly an obligation to give back and to support our community. So, we routinely come up with, ideas about how to do that. I actually have a young lady on my staff that I just had a meeting with her yesterday, about that very thing. And my mantra is that on any of the projects that we do, if the only thing we do is build a building in a community and leave, then we haven't done our job. So, I task her with, when we leave that community, it's got to be better than when we got there. So how do we do that? And that can manifest itself in a number of different ways, from restoring a local church that was dilapidated to, again, fixing up a park and putting in jungle gyms for the kids, or it could happen in so many different ways, and I tasked her with getting with the community and understanding what the needs are and figuring out what those special projects are that we can do to make an impact in the communities that we work in.
Well, there's one other thing you haven't touched on. You also make it your business to support small businesses across the city and throughout, including BMoreNews.com. The man with the advertising company, the wraparound trucks, Alan Barris, a number of businesses. But let's start with Be More News. I'm proud of that. You've been a supporter of us for a long, long time, with 10 years or so, maybe even longer. Why is it important to support Black business?
Well, look, commercial used to be a small Black business. The reason that I'm actually with commercial and Kevin is because of how important it is to support our small minority businesses. I used to work for, a huge multi-billion-dollar company. So I saw firsthand the inequity that happened. What's that?
When you were in Pittsburgh?
No, New York.
New York.
Yeah. And so I saw how, small minority businesses were treated. And, I think that we have an opportunity to change that narrative and try to do it on all of our projects. A lot of companies will say they can't achieve the goals that the city has of, 25 and 10 or whatever it is. And, for me, that's the floor, not the ceiling. So, our teams are tasked with exceeding the goals. Just meeting the goals isn't acceptable. They've got to exceed the goals.
Where does that come from? Now, Kevin has always worked for himself. You a brilliant poly engineer. Is that the synergy between you two? That you not only have to meet the expectation, you have to exceed it. You said it with such conviction. Kind of like the poly football, the winning football team from back in the day. You're going to win, and you're going to win by a lot.
Well, yeah, if you don't have the mindset, then you can't achieve it. So you have to, say it with conviction. You've got to be intentional about what you do, right?
Yes.
And you got to have buy-in, And everybody that works for commercial construction, I have a conversation with them, and I make sure that they understand what they're signing up for, because that's how we're going to operate. So if you've got a different mindset about what you think is the right way to execute construction, and it's inconsistent with our culture and our thought process, then you need to work somewhere else.
I'm clear. Any final thoughts, Mr. Glaze? It's certainly, thank you for taking time out of your busy morning. No, we interrupted your coffee and your bagel, but we're glad that you shared some of your wisdom. I'm sure there are a number of people out there watching that have a bunch of questions, but we just had to bring you on and let you know that we're still thankful and grateful to know you and for all that you do. I know that you help a lot of people, including our students. I've seen you make opportunities, things you'll never mention, you'll never brag on. Even this interview is kind of pulling teeth on some things because some kind of way you figure that's the best way to stay humble. You don't have to tout about it. Let other people talk about it. Come
That's
on,
right.
Marty. It's an interview, man. This ain't over Central Booking and that. You can speak.
What? No. I'm very thankful, grateful of all the things that we got going on. And again, the more that we can do, the more that we can give back. So, the more people we can help, the more businesses we can bring along with us. So I'm proud to be a part of a group that's leading that charge. And, I will tell you that we're up for the challenge.
What I got to ask you this question. You told me once that you built the skyscraper. Is that true?
I did. When I was very young, I was part of a team that built a 55-story high-rise in Philadelphia.
See,
Very
that just
exciting.
tells me, yeah, I can do anything. After doing that, you can do anything. Oh, Alexis
That's
Coach
right. So,
chime in there.
Hey, Alexis, how are you?
That's my dog.
Yeah. So the biggest thing we've been able to build here locally, we were blessed by knowing the Cordish family, and they allowed us to build their Maryland Live Casino, and that was what a wonderful job. And on that job, we ended up with between 47-42% minority inclusion. What a great project. And what I tell people, the story of that is not the 40% inclusion. It was really the 33 prime contracts I had with small minority businesses, including a local minority caterer who catered because we had these huge meetings a couple of times a week. 20 people, we'd have them catered. So we had a minority caterer that did that work for us. And during the course of the project, he ended up having to hire 3 more people to keep up with all the meetings and all the catering that he had to do. It was the husband and wife that cleaned the trailer that ended up starting a cleaning company and now had 25 trucks, running around the city. Those are the things that I'm most proud of, is when you can make that type of impact with what you've been, blessed to do. And that's what Maryland Live did. So, Maryland Live is at a magnitude where you could really help a lot of people. And I think at the end of the day, we were able to do that and able to do that while providing an owner with a property that is world class. So that there was no drop off of quality, even doing that, which is what most people will try to say is, well, you can't use minorities because, we needed to be high quality.
I'm glad you said that because I remember coming to you maybe 10 years ago. I was a member of a church, and the church was talking about rebuilding the church. And at the church meeting, I raised my hand because after 25 questions had been asked, none of them touched my topic. My question to this big church and its big congregation is, when you choose a construction company to build your new church, will it be black? And the gentleman speaking on behalf of the church said, we don't care whether they're black or white. We just want them to be good. And that's when I turned in my resignation. I was no longer a member of that church. But I came to you and you said, sure, we can build a church. But I remember feeling so angry that this church, which gets 100% of its money from Black people, did not understand the innate responsibility to try a Black construction company. Kind of like when people say, get a Jewish lawyer. Well, before I call a Jewish lawyer, no disrespect, I got to call Billy Murphy, got to call Bobby Shields, Ivan Bates, J. Wendell Gordon. I got to go through my list first. If they can't handle it or refer it, then maybe out. But this is Black Wall Street. We have pride in our own. But these churches that feed our souls, that people dig in their pockets to kick out, grandma selling women's tickets, Mother's Day's tickets, Men's Day's tickets, the building fund tickets. And this Negro told me, I'm sorry, I've been cool all day. This person said, we don't care if the company is Black or white. I was fed up. I couldn't believe it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. Oh, we didn't cover one other thing. Are you still cooking? I know you missed the food. You ain't did the celebrity chef thing in a minute.
No, I have not done that, but I certainly am still cooking, just at smaller groups. So I'm still keeping my skills honed in.
Okay, what's the latest thing you've cooked that you brag about? Your latest, like, masterpiece in the kitchen?
Wow. So for Valentine's Day, I had sauteed asparagus with a lump crab cake, a Parmesan risotto with a pan-seared Chilean sea bass with a lemon beurre blanc sauce,
Beurre blanc.
and then I made a heart-shaped Parmesan twill to go on top.
That sure beats a chicken box, buddy. It sounds delicious.
It was.
Good deal. Mr. Glaze, thank you for joining us this morning. Any final thoughts?
So my final thought would simply be, to pray for Baltimore. I think Baltimore needs healing, and I think it's going to require prayer.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you again for taking time out of your busy schedule. We're proud of you. Thank you for your support of our city, of our businesses, of our community, of Poly. And thank you for loving Baltimore. We need more people like you.
Thank you, Donnie.
Yes, sir. Have a great day. Hey, my daddy was an Undertaker. You kind of got that little Undertaker demeanor with you right now. Like, come on, man. Spit it. We'll catch you. Hey, where's your favorite restaurant these days? Now that this COVID is unwinding, what spot would you recommend? We trying to rendezvous with Marty Glaze? Wicked. What restaurant?
I like Aldo's.
Okay. Well, at the rendezvous at Aldo's. Me and Alexis will come down and meet you. Good deal. Thank you, Mr. Glaze.
There you go. Let me know.
Yes, sir. Much love to you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
All right.
As you can see, we have a lot of love for Baltimore here. We had another guest lined up. Alexis, why don't you come on in? Give me your thoughts. I know you've been laid back. I'm going to send you the link. I think one of our guests got a little sidetracked. Come on, talk to me, Alexis. There's a link there. Oh, Marty Glaze, we go back. We go way back. Sorry about that. So we've had a number of people. I just wanted to do a recap. a number of people on this show over the past 15, 16 weeks. DC, Prince George's County. Of course, Prince George's County is very important. So much is happening there. People are wondering if, for instance, Angela also Brooks will step out there and run for governor. We've also had Prince George's County chair on, Calvin Hawkins. Many people say that he will be the one to follow also Brooks. After also Brooks, I don't know whatever also Brooks, but people are looking at Calvin Hawkins as possibly the next one. We've talked with Kathy Adams, who is the executive director of the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce. And certainly she has shared some perspective. She was very adamant about making sure the businesses in Oakland survive. Matter of fact, she helped raise millions to get into the pockets of Black businesses out there in Oakland. I've been told, I've never been to Oakland, that it's very similar to Baltimore. Certainly they have the same type of passion for the Black community, for Black culture. Certainly historically, Oakland is not to ever be forgotten, especially when you think of the 60s and the Black Panthers. Just a lot of strong-minded, culture-loving Black people out there in Oakland. Who else have we had? We've had Ron Busby on the show. Ron Busby is the president, CEO of the U.S. Black Chambers. He has opened up some doors. Matter of fact, we met Kathy Adams through Mr. Ron Busby. And so if you want to be a guest on the show, do send us an email, editor@BlackUSA.News. Let me just address that. We started BlackUSA.News. We wanted to create a brand far beyond Baltimore, a national brand. So Be More News still exists, no doubt. But Black USA is more of a national umbrella where we get to cover news in other cities. One of particular importance to me is Harlem. Certainly Harlem has been our mecca of Black culture. New York is going through all kinds of gentrification and changes. Harlem may not be what it used to be, but you can't negate or erase that history. It will always be a center of Black culture. You think of Malcolm X, you think of Adam Clayton Powell, A. Philip Payton, one of the fathers of Harlem. A lot of greatness in there. So our next guest is on board, running a tab behind. How you doing there, Mr. Michael Moore? How are you? Hello.
I'm good.
How you doing,
good, Donnie? How you feeling today?
Good. We can't see your face.
I'm chilling, man. You?
I think you got to wipe your screen. Maybe you got to wipe.
I don't want to get too much of this writing.
Huh? Come on, Michael.
We good now?
Let me take you down for a minute. You want to wipe that screen and get situated so we can go all in one spot. Okay, you guys looks well dressed. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Stop moving around. Today? I'm doing good. What's happening with you? You look nice. Like that bow tie.
Man, hey, look, man, when you told me to come on the show, you know I got to do something extra special for you. Extra spiffy, as you know.
Bless your heart. You have a business now, Michael. I didn't know about this business. What's your business?
Lifting Hands Mentoring Program. Vocational training for at-risk youth. Youth alike. We all need youth to get right track and get ready to be job vocational ready. So, you know, we want to try to that and focus in on that and keep those things.
Are you still there? Look like you froze up on me. Okay. So tell me a little bit more about your business. When did you start it?
I grassrooted it 2012. Came up, helped Sheila Dixon with the mayor election in 2016. I postponed it from there, started it back up like 6 months ago.
Okay. In the middle of the pandemic.
Oh, yeah. That's the best time really for us.
Why is that?
because no holds barred. We have no limits on the way that we reach and what we do and how we make charitable a community thing, not just a selective people thing.
Mm. Okay. So what's next for you? What's your next big project?
I'm getting ready to harass the police department because what's the main thing is if we can get arrested and locked up and all these type of things thrown inside of the car and they claim they want to bridge the gap, well, hey, let us start making money with you. Let's start detailing those cars, allowing these youths to clean these cars. Never need to be done around a job or a better chance. Not saying that they're gonna want to become a police officer, but they're gonna give you a chance to influence right there. They're gonna relationship that you really need. And if we look at the statistics on what's going on, if we see that black young males are at a high rate incarcerated, this is a quick way to show them that we can do some things to not get ourselves incarcerated, as well as form an alliance with the things we say we don't like. So we have an understanding of where they're coming from. They have an understanding of where we're coming from. We're just trying to basically do something different. Change the whole way of charity. That's our goal. Way of charity. Of you thinking about charity is not just a given process any longer with us. It's a hands process. We like to earn. Our work is in the community. Without a building, we've been sustained to basically still serve the community. So that's great things, man. We just look forward to building infrastructure, partnerships, because everybody has a plan, but the thing is, does it make sense, and where is it going, and is it helping our people this time? Of course, we can put on basketball events. We have one as well. The thing is, it's mainly, let's not deviate our people from what's really going on and what they need to have going on.
And what would that be?
Man, to get ready for this business world that's big money off of them, even if they don't know it. So the thing is, they need to get equipped to, and maybe that can make up for some of the hardship that we've been through out here. Maybe somebody can earn something, on to some, do particular things in life, as well as for their country, and maybe we'll show our importance of in the Black Wall Street days. You get me? So America ain't gonna be what it's supposed to be until we get where we need to be.
So what do you want to see for our youth? Any suggestions on how to better reach our young people?
Man, I was coming daily to day, day to day, because it's dumbed down. We can't argue with that. I can't be politically correct. I must stand correct. And society, unfortunately, is dumbed down. So with it being dumbed down, we doing something like, we got a raffle that you must be present in the building while the event going on throughout the month of April, as well as present for the raffle winning. Other than that, you cannot receive this raffle. And what we got going on is we got a little 4-wheeler for the kids. Trying to do something different, man. Innovative, trying to work some things out, see what makes them come in, because they all really want the money, but they don't know what's going on to get it. We just trying to show them, hey, here go the way to get it. That's all. And at the end of the day, a positive way. There ain't no such thing, good money, bad money, as our politics teach us.
What was that last part? You
can be
up.
Good and getting bad money. It ain't no thing is good money, bad money, the way our politicians teach us. They're doing a good thing, but doing bad in the process. So it's just about their money, mean, I guess. I don't know.
What is that? What do you mean, Michael?
What I mean, you got a lot going on. You got a lot going on, and you know, they got what the founders have built in America has been great for America and beneficial for a selective few in America, as well as disadvantage for a selective few. So what they have going on is institutionalize and monopolize all the economy. And the thing is, it's not to help to basically grow more. It's to basically let them eat all of it personally. You know, I mean, they're in a position to spread seeds and grow flourishing gardens, but they eat the seeds. So I guess that's how we rolling in politics.
So, Michael, how can people
ain't no more AD, Donnie.
How can people support your business, and what do you need from the people?
What was that, Donnie? Hey, listen to this, man. We don't want you to just invest and pour into. No. Come see where your money is going. See how it's benefiting the community. And in the same sense, we not only always need your money, we need bills, we need equipment. And that's when you volunteers, we need people that's going to be a part. If you really want to be, we need partnerships. I hate to call on the partnerships because I am torn for partnership. Now it's just time to execute the plan with or without them, you know, at the end of the day, because in the same sense, we must on. But partnerships, if you have the youth already, hey, we got the jobs for them. Let's do this thing. At the end of the day, is it because of who's doing it that we are feeling some type of way about it, or are we trying to do it? That's my question.
Well, Michael Moore, we certainly encourage you. It's a bad connection, Mike. It's going in and out.
I know, man. You got to get me back on here. I got to get to a better location with a better setup. Unfortunately, man, I'm left with this little piece of crap.
Give us a word of encouragement before you go. Something positive, Michael.
I mean, every dark hole got a light. You just got to look for it. And you know, sometimes you got to feel your way around in life until you get there.
I like that. Well, you get that hook up, and we got to bring you back on there because we got to see you and all of your luster, especially that pretty tie you got on there. But we're proud of you, and keep swinging, champ. Don't give up. Much love to you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Always a challenge, but we're going to keep the ball swinging. There she go.
Hey, Donnie.
Susan Smallwood, what's going on with you?
Greetings, Donnie, and to your audience out there in Donnie World, Black Wall Street News. How's everybody doing this morning?
We're good. What are you doing?
I had to go to the car and get my Crystal Energy water bottle, since that's one of the things I'll be talking about on your show today.
Okay, well, tell us about this Crystal Energy. That's perfect. See the sunlight.
Okay.
You want to? That's perfect right there. Don't move.
Perfect.
Right there. Don't move.
Right here.
Right. Well, see, then you put the daylight in it again. The
Good.
daylight. Yeah, behind you is daylight. Yeah, that's
How about that?
That's
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
wonderful. Okay, yes. You want me to start?
You always look great. You're live.
I'm live, baby. Okay, first I'm going to start off with my new product. I had to pivot on purpose for my passion during the pandemic. As we know, the world changed a year ago, and I had to get creative. And on my spiritual journey, on my healing journey, on my self-discovery journey, I recognized that the meditation, words, and visualizations are all powerful. I am where I am today because of the magic and miracles that I have manifested. So I created this Crystal Energy water bottle design. Now, there are other bottles out there. Oh, we froze up. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello?
You're doing fine. I gave you the whole screen because
okay, froze up on my end. But anyway, so can you see the Crystal Energy water bottle?
Yes, we can see it. Show it again.
Oh, really? Okay, because it's froze up on my end. So this is the actual, the box that it comes in with these powerful words of affirmations: love, health, wealth, peace, prosperity, power. GrandiosityLifestyle.com. And on the top, you'll see my beautiful logo. I'm so proud. And again,
I want you to listen to me. The blinds behind you, close them. The blinds behind you, close them. Because it's just affecting the lighting. Yeah. We want to see that pretty bottle.
Okay, well, I can't. It's frozen on my end. How do we get
You're not frozen on my end? You're not frozen. You're good. You're live. You're perfect.
Okay. All right. I'm perfect. Okay. So, all right, ladies and gents, this is the beautiful box, the packaging that it comes in. And let me show you the actual Crystal Energy water bottle. It also comes with over $40 worth of crystals. These are citrine crystals. And if anybody knows anything about crystals, these crystals are $3 to $4 a piece in the stores, depending on the size. So I know in Fort Lauderdale, these are $3 and $4. I don't know about here.
We can't see them. Let me see them.
Can you see the gems?
Well, no, lift it up. Yes.
Crystals?
Okay.
Look at all that. Crystals are a part of Mother Earth, as we all know.
Well, teach me about it.
So there's a lot of power from Mother Earth. What you do with the crystals, it comes with also a neoprene sleeve. And voila! How do y'all love the actual, it's a borosilicate glass bottle. Borosilicate meaning it's tempered a certain way. It's very hard to break, but it is breakable, but it's very hard to break. So what I do is I place the crystals in the reservoir. Can you still see?
Yes.
Okay, because my screen is still frozen, so let me know if you need me to change my angle.
No,
so
it's fine.
The crystals in the reservoir, after they've been activated, most people know that crystals have to be activated. So when you activate it, you put in the moon, the sun, the beach water. And then I also put the crystals in the stainless steel infuser. The stainless steel infuser can be used for tea, fruit, or anything else of your liking. But I put the crystals inside the stainless steel infuser because I want to power and magnetize the water, preferably alkaline water, pour it over the crystals, let it sit. And then when you're ready to drink from the Crystal Energy water bottle, you say your affirmations and you incorporate these words into your daily affirmations. I love myself. I love others. I love what I do. You know, my health is beautiful. You have to speak positive words of affirmations to create your destiny. So all these words, I attract wealth. And wealth is not only about money. It's about a mindset. Peace. Oh gosh, peace. We all need peace in our lives, especially with everything that's going on in this world. Prosperity in everything that you do, in your friendships, your relationships, in life, everything. And power. You have the power to create your destiny. You have the power to change your world. So this is my Crystal Energy water bottle. GrandiosityLifestyle.com is where you can purchase this beautiful bottle. It comes with beautiful packaging, and also it's a very, very, very nice gift to gift your friends, family, and fellow coworkers. So any questions on that?
I want to know, who is in Women's History Month do you celebrate? And you can't mention anybody in your family.
Okay, and Women's History Month, who do I celebrate? I celebrate all the women of power, especially women of color, who are making grand moves out there. I need to also say this real quick. My Crystal Energy water bottles were specially selected to go into the gift bags for the National Urban League Women of Power honorees, which include Stacey Abrams. I think everybody knows who Stacey Abrams is. Amanda Gorman, and a slew of other ladies. I don't know all the names, but it's going into their gift bags which airs on March 25th. National Urban League Women of Power honorees. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Shout out to my publicist, Antea Maria. So anyway, so I celebrate all the women of color, Kamala Harris, everyone that's paving the way for the other women of color like myself, who are making grand moves and grand strides towards helping the world become a better place, towards helping heal ourselves and help others at the same time.
So that's what you have done in the middle of a pandemic.
Yes, yes, and it's 11/11. 11/11.
Do you know that it is because of you that I met Shu Smith? We have been the best of friends ever since.
Let me tell you, and anyone that knows me knows I am the connector. People,
Yes.
that's why people love coming to my events. The meetings, the connections, the energy, the grand experiences, the grand exposure, the grand education from my events. I have gotten that compliment, and so I created that business with that mission statement. And thank you for that compliment, Donnie.
Well, also, I'll never forget when I first met him, he was dressed to the nines. But speaking of which, you always dress to the nines.
Oh, thank you.
Where'd you get the fashion flair?
I grew up overseas in Germany and Belgium. My mother is Korean, and my mom always ordered our clothes from a German catalog or Spiegel. That I'm dating myself now. Who remembers Spiegel? So my mom always,
Spiegel.
yes. Oh my gosh. So we're 5 decades plus. But so my mom dressed us, and I've always had that flair for fashion. I actually wanted to be a model while I was growing up living in San Francisco. That didn't happen. So, my path took a different journey. And here I am now at 53 years old.
You're a baby. You look great. So have you been back to Belgium?
I haven't been back to Belgium, but I lived in Germany over 13 years. I desire to go back to Germany, perhaps Belgium as well.
Tell me some German.
Guten Tag. You know what that means?
I remember Sie sprechen Sie Deutsch, and my daddy taught me how to say "go take a crap" in German, but that's all I remember.
well, Guten Tag is good day. You can never go wrong with Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Yeah, Guten Tag.
Okay,
yeah.
And they got two rivers over there, the Rhine Valley and the Mosel Valley.
Yes, the Rhine River and I'm not sure about the other one.
The Mosel.
You might be.
The Rhine has the wine in the brown bottles, and the Mosel Valley wine is in the green bottles.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with the Mosel. That's something either I don't recall or I don't know where. It's not ringing a bell.
Okay.
But the Rhine, yes.
Did you experience racism in Germany?
I did. Growing up, my mom's Korean. My dad is Black and half Indian. So there weren't very many mixed couples growing up in our era, and I was the girl that looked different. So I got ostracized at times. And I remember, we remember words are powerful. So I remember some of the things that were said to me. And one girl, she was like 200 something pounds, like 250 pounds. She said I had nothing to be proud of because my parents come from a mixed background. I tried to fight her. She swung me. Woo! But anyway, so, I remember trying to defend my nationality.
You better.
And I've had Black kids call me niggerine while I was growing up. I didn't understand that term, but I never let it really bother me because I always knew I was different. So I kept, I marched to my own drummer's beat. So whatever they thought was their own business, I kept it moving and kept it going in my own mind, in my own way.
Well, I do know some Korean. 안녕하십니까? 안녕하세요.
You said hello.
감사합니다.
Yeah, yes. And what's crazy is I grew up speaking Korean, but I have not spoke Korean in so many years that I don't even really remember. I know more German than Korean.
Such beautiful cultures, so much. And then, so how'd you end up in Baltimore?
Lord Jesus, that's a long story. That's coming out of my book. So we're gonna fast forward now. So let me talk about the next topic. I also am the first and only woman of color to produce polo and jazz. We are celebrating our 5th annual Celebrity Charity Polo and Jazz Sunday, September 19th, here in Maryland at Congressional Polo Club. We want everyone to come out and support because it is benefiting several foundations in the community. As everyone knows, I'm always supporting foundations, local foundations, not the big foundations because they already have a lot of money. The local foundations need our support. So please come out and support. One of them is Concerts for Causes. So there'll be other foundations coming on board as well. Concerts for Causes gives musical instruments to children with that are disadvantaged. So of course we know that we want to help our children. They are our next future generation. As well, we are seeking sponsorship. And there's an opportunity for a business or a brand to have mentions in our full page Forbes feature coming out this June 2021. So anyone that knows about Forbes is a prestigious magazine. Forbes is aligned and synonymous with success. There's 5.7 million readers in the Forbes US edition every month. So please contact me at info@grandiosity.events.com for sponsorship opportunities in the full page Forbes.
Good deal. You have always inspired me to stay on my grind, to stay at it. I've been to some of your events, classy, very classy, very
Thank
classy.
you.
And you bring out some of the best. Now, your most recent event is in DC or in the DC area?
Well, our signature event, the Polo and Jazz, is Sunday, September 19th. So in between time, and I'm going to be producing curated private events, champagne and caviar. So, and that's going to be, that'll come out at the time when we have the full details.
You wouldn't know. I mean, so you got a book. Tell me about this book.
No, I don't have the book yet. I'm writing the book. It's not out yet. Everybody wants to hear my full story. So I have to get my book completed before I can tell the whole story. I mean, when you have people from Hollywood saying, Susan, oh my goodness, you got a story, and it needs to be a Netflix series. Oh my gosh, you have a movie. It would be a movie. Oh, it belongs on Lifetime. Yeah, I know, because you know what? My life is damn a reality show and a movie and every damn thing else at the same time. So I just have to sit still to finish everything.
What advice would you give a young entrepreneur entering into the world of business in the middle of a pandemic?
I would advise any young person or older person or anybody to believe in themselves, to follow their passion. Do not get distracted by the noise and the naysayers and the haters, because you know we all got them. You follow your passion, you meditate, you believe, you have the power to create anything that you want and become successful, or whatever it is you want to become. Never, ever, ever, ever give up, and to live life grand every day.
That's it. How can people get in touch with you?
Susan at grandiosity.events.com, or my number is 202-448-9997.
One more time. Phone number.
202-448-9997.
You're the bomb.
And you're dope as well. Grandest thanks, Donnie. Thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you for being you. Authentically, unapologetically you. And you look great.
Grandest thanks.
Love to you.
Thank you.
Good deal. This has been another edition of Black USA News. We'll be back 7 p.m. tonight for Urban Spotlight with Darius G. My name's Donnie Glover, and have a powerful day. Thanks again, Susan.
Brandon, thanks. Bye-bye.